Imagine an empire so confident in its might that it sent an army said to number over 1 million men only to watch it shatter against a single kingdom's walls. That is the story of Sui China's invasion of Gogureo in the early 7th century, one of the largest military campaigns in East Asian history, and a turning point that helped bring down an entire dynasty. In 612 CE, the Sui dynasty under Emperor Yang sought to accomplish what previous Chinese empires had repeatedly failed to do: subdue Gogureo, the powerful Korean kingdom that controlled the Northeast Asian frontier. To achieve this goal, Sui mobilized an unprecedented force. Ancient sources describe an army composed of hundreds of thousands of soldiers, often exaggerated to over 1 million, accompanied by enormous supply lines, engineers, and laborers. Whether or not the numbers were inflated, one fact is certain: this was one of the largest mobilizations of manpower the pre-modern world had ever seen. The campaign began with confidence. Massive flotillas crossed the Bohai Sea while ground forces marched through Manchuria, building roads, bridges, and supply depots as they went. Yet Gogureo was no easy target. Its fortresses, such as the formidable Liaodong citadels, resisted siege after siege. Even when Sui troops broke through defensive lines, they struggled to maintain momentum across rugged terrain and against a well-prepared enemy. The turning point came at the Battle of Salsu. Gogureo's general, Yulji Mundiak, used deception, psychological warfare, and masterful retreat tactics to lure the Sui forces deep into hostile territory. When the exhausted invaders attempted to cross the Salsu River, Gogureo troops released a massive flood of water from an upstream dam. The result was catastrophic: tens of thousands of Sui soldiers perished in moments, and only a fraction of the original force made it back alive. The invasion had failed spectacularly. But worse, the cost crippled the Sui dynasty itself. The enormous mobilization had strained the empire's economy, exhausted its peasantry, and bred widespread resentment. Emperor Yang's insistence on launching repeated campaigns against Gogureo, despite heavy losses, deepened public anger and overextended the state's resources. Rebellions erupted across China, infrastructure collapsed, and confidence in imperial leadership evaporated. Within just a few years of the failed invasions, the Sui dynasty fell. What was meant to be a glorious conquest became instead one of the most disastrous military overreaches in Chinese history. The invasion of Gogureo is remembered not only for its massive scale but for its lesson: an empire can collapse not only from external enemies, but from the weight of its own ambitions.